All right, so congratulations on moving past the one-step equations where you already learned about inverse operations, where we do subtraction to reverse addition, addition to reverse subtraction, multiplication to reverse division, and division to reverse multiplication. So same thing applies on your two steps. You're still going to be using those inverse operations. You're still going to be isolating the value that contains the variable term. The thing about it is in the one step, you just had the variable term opposite a constant. Now we're going to have a variable term with the constant on that same side equal to a constant. So we have to collect our constants all to the same side while leaving our variable and then isolating the variable. So the first thing you need to do is get your constants together. And so one way to do that is to look at an acronym called VOICE, VOIS. So up here, I've written out the acronym VOICE. V stands for variable. O stands for operation, what's happening to the variable. And I is the inverse operation to that. And then the substitute comes when you have multiple steps after you're at the point where it's a variable equal to a constant. So, for instance, this very first one, we can see that the variable is being multiplied by x and then had 2 added, and that made it equal 13. Order of operations said 3 times a value plus 2. Remember, we're always reversing as we isolate the variable. So in inverse operations, reversing order of operation, the first thing I'm looking at is what's tagged onto the variable term. So this time I'm identifying the variable term, okay? The variable term, my first step, is 3x. But what's happening in addition to 3x? Oh, plus 2. What's the inverse of adding a positive 2? Adding a negative 2. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, minus 2, sum line, just like we did when we had one step. We have the term with the variable in it, the value of the term, the value that is the term, the value that is the variable term, sorry, and it has a constant, and then there's a constant on the other side. You'll notice I put VCC. It helps you kind of organize your thinking. I'm going to have that variable alone, but only once I've collected my constants to the same side. And you can see I have a constant on the left that needs to go to the right. So these are going to cancel out. And that leaves me with the 3x, because I need to carry it down, equal to 13 and a negative 2, which means 11. So 3 times some number equals 11. Now I want to look at my x and isolate it further. So now I want it to be just x once I undo a step. That means x is being multiplied by 3, so I need to divide it by 3. So I'm going to go ahead and divide by 3. This cancels out. X is going to equal 11 thirds. That is in simplest form. We're going to leave it as a fraction, not as a mixed number, unless told otherwise. But always just leave them as improper fractions, not mixed numbers, unless set otherwise. Now we need to go back and substitute. Go back to your original equation. Okay, so I rewrote my original equation, 3x plus 2 equals 13 out here. My substitution is, instead of x, I'm going to put what I said x equals. So x is a negative, not negative, 11 thirds. So that means I need to put it into my calculator exactly as it looks here. You don't have to use parentheses for that multiplication because it doesn't have any other operations inside. But you need to do 3 times the fraction 11 over 3. Make sure you space that out of the fraction. Plus 2, enter. And that side should equal 13, just like the other does. So once you've put it into your calculator and this equals 13, you know that you have a check. Until then, you have a big question mark here. Okay? Until that point, you have a big question mark because you haven't checked it yet. So you have to check it. So let's go on and do another. Let's move down to this bottom left one next. Okay, I went ahead and labeled my constant variable constant. I've made sure that I recognize that these negatives, remember we talked about everything's like addition. So if it's subtraction, we know it's adding a negative. So up here, I could say, this is adding the negative. So it's a negative 8K. It's a negative 6, negative 8. Boy, there's a lot of negative in this problem, isn't there? So if I want to follow, I'm going to follow that voice pattern. Okay. And right now, the variable term says negative 8K. You can do first or second either side. It doesn't matter. It's just a second run. You can even, some of the teachers have you just do a second row here. It's up to you. I do require you're using voice current at this point though. Okay, so recognize it's a negative 8K and it has negative 6 being combined with it. It's a negative 6, which means my inverse is positive 6. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to bring a positive 6 on both sides to get my constants together. Go ahead and take that move. So I've gone ahead and done that. I added the 6. It leaves me with a negative 8K on the left. It leaves me with a negative 2 on the right. Use your calculator for these integer problems if you're uncertain, and it's perfectly okay. That's one of your resources. Now I have my K, and it's being multiplied by a negative 8. Not just 8, it's a negative 8. So I need to divide by a negative 8. I've got to take that negative with it, otherwise I'm going to have a negative K, and I need a positive K when I'm done. So these cross out, and my K is going to be equal to, if you do negative 2 divided by negative 8, or do it as a fraction, enter, it's going to give you the simplified, which is 1/4. Because remember, that's a division problem. A negative divided by a negative leaves you with a positive. Now I need to go do my substitution, rewrite my equation, and substitute in for my variable. All right, so I left this space here. I went ahead and I did an open parentheses in place of my K. I did everything else exactly as it was. And I put in my calculator, negative 6 minus 8 times 1/4, enter. It gave me negative 8, so I know it checks because it says it's a true statement. Okay, let's go to the one to the right here next. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go ahead, label constant, variable constant, and write out voice, and see if you can get your first step written next to the voice and done before you come back to the video. All right, so n divided by negative 7 would be the same thing as, remember we talked about this before, that would be the same as saying negative 1/7 times n, so our coefficient is negative 1/7. It could be written n divided by 7, and the reason I like it that way for you right now is you can tell what's happening to it, so you know what you're going to do about that negative 7. You're going to need to reverse the division, but first we have to look at the constant that's connected to it on the left side of the equal sign, and we want both constants on the same side opposite the variable. So when I wrote it out, came over here, my variable term, n divided by negative 7, n over negative 7, and then the rest was minus 4. So I know that my inverse is going to be adding 4 to both sides. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. All right, so after I did that, I added there, I'm left with n divided by negative 7 equals 19. I went ahead, now I want to isolate my variable further, and the only thing happening to now is it's being divided by negative 7. So I undo that, reverse it by multiplying by negative 7. And that means that I have to multiply both sides by times negative 7. And then I'm going to write out my substitution. So I'm going to do that now as I pause the video, see what you can get done yourself. Okay, hopefully yours looks like this, and it shows n equal to negative 133. I've written out my equation as it originally looked right here, and I've left that blank space to fill in my variable. So I'm going to put in my calculator, negative 133 divided by negative 7, minus 4, and hopefully it should say 15. And it does, and that makes that true. It checks. All right, so now I'm looking at the equation above there that says b divided by 2 minus 6 equals 0. But what did I not happen to state? It says the opposite of. So I want you to think about how that is the same thing as saying a negative 1/2 b. Our coefficient is negative 1/2. So the negative goes with the 2. We need to keep it with it when we think about that. I've got voice written out over here. I've labeled my variables and my constants. Notice also it's minus 6, so I know that means it's plus a negative 6. So when I come over here to do voice, My variable term is b over, and I'm just going to put the negative down there. It helps me keep organized so that when I go to undo that part, I'm remembering to take the negative. And then it's a negative 6, which means I'm going to need inverse of a positive 6. So go ahead and add 6 to both sides. And I'm now left with the opposite of b divided by 2 equal to 6. Well, now I need to do that second step. This time I want to isolate. I want a positive b. Notice I have that negative out to the side. So it's being divided by, essentially, right? Divided by a negative 2. I'm going to undo that by multiplying times a negative 2. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put that out here to the left, times a negative 2, times a negative 2. And the left negative 2's, they cancel out. And remember, this negative right here went with that too, because, sorry, negative times a negative makes a positive, so I now have a positive b equals negative 12. Now I'm going to go back and grab my original equation and do substitution. So make sure, as you're doing these practice for this level, that you're writing out voice, you're showing all your steps. I know it's tedious sometimes, but go through all the steps. If I can do it, you can do it. And then write out your substitution as well, just as I've been doing. So I got a negative 12 for my variable. So when I go to my calculator, oh my gosh, you guys, this is such a big deal. Make sure that you include this negative. You put it out in front. Negative. Then go into your fraction, and you need a negative 12 in the numerator divided by 2. It's a double negative, isn't it? Make sure you include both when you put it in your calculator. And yes, putting it in your calculator is part of the check. If you made a mathematical error without your calculator doing the process, you're going to make the same thing when you go back and check it, honestly. So this ends up being 0. That was a question until now, and that checks. All right, take a minute to look it over. Make sure you're following along. Take a pause if you need to. So you're probably saying, Mrs. Jensen, you didn't do these two. We're going to hold off on those until we get to coefficient variables. So if you need more help with more of these types of problems when you get to the practice, you need to ask for it in class. That's what you need to do. You need to start working on them in your Delta Math, showing your work in this space down here, just like I've been doing it, and check with me. I'm not going to help you if I can't see your work on paper, because I can't know what you're missing, all right? We have one more here, though, we do need to go through. And when we did the word phrases for expressions, the same things apply here now. And the sum, we know, means it's going to be added. A sum means to add. And it says 7 and 4 times n. Okay, this is a term right here. And here's a term. Is means to equal. So here's what they're equal to. And it says to find n. So we have the sum of 7 and 4 times some number n is -2. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to solve for the variable n. There's my voice. I've written it out to the side. I've got a constant, a variable, and a constant. I know I need my constants together first. So this time I'm isolating the variable term. This is a +7 because it doesn't have a negative in front of it, and it didn't say a -7 up there. Plus 7, which means I need to do a -7. -7 to both sides. This one's going to be a -9. That one is poof to the other side. I now have a variable equal to a constant. So now I want to isolate n. It's being multiplied by 4, so I need to divide it by 4. So I'm going to divide by 4. That makes a 1n equal to a -9/4. You guys, it's only simplest form when you get the negative out in front of it, because we don't leave it in the numerator or the denominator. All right? Now I need to go back, and the problem with these is if you've written your problem out, your equation out incorrectly, you won't necessarily catch any mistakes you made from there to there, but you could catch the mistakes you made in the process, and that's good for something. So I'm going to do 7 plus 4n equals -2. I'm going to substitute in what I got for n, which was a negative 9/4. Put it in your calculator. I don't care how confident you are in your adding, subtracting, dividing, multiplying. Checking, substitution. Use your calculator. Write it first. Don't put anything into your calculator until you've written it on your page. So 7 plus 4 times negative 9/4. Enter. Negative 2 is always going to equal negative 2. It checks. Yay! Go on and work on your practice. Make sure you ask for help in class if you're struggling. Thanks for sticking it out.